Welcome. My name is Kyle and welcome to Sixth Letter to Earth, a show where we support the F word here, guys. We support the F word. Now, what is the F word, you say? Well, the F word is this little thing we call freedom. And freedom is something that we should cherish as much as we get. And, I feel like we all deserve to have freedom in any way, shape, or form. So that's what we mean by when I say I support the F word. So, because due to the events that happened earlier this year with the freedom rallies, people have put a negative connotation on the word freedom. Some people have, and that's why I'm calling it the F word. So, just in case if anyone was wondering, like, what the hell does he mean by the F word? All right? And that's also the six letters F to the world, and it's freedom to the world. Just in case if anyone didn't know. Anyways, today's episode, I didn't have an idea what I was going to do this week, so I decided to sit down and I meditated. And they said, you know what? You turned 30 this year. You just flicked over that switch to another decade. How about, the approach what I was shown and what I felt was I needed to just come on here, unscripted, just give a bunch of life advice, life stories, just go and fill as much time as I can, just telling some stories about my life and giving some advice, how it feels, and and explain what I've been up to, and, what my birthday's all about, and, yeah. And, just kind of explain so just give some advice, so. And that's what I'm going to do. So, this is called, I don't know what I'm going to call this episode. It's episode 19, 3 decades of reflection. I don't know, we'll figure out a better name. There's a better name for it. I don't have a name yet. Episode 19. We'll just go with it, the birthday episode, maybe, that's what we'll call it. So anyways, this past Tuesday, I'm recording this on May 12th. So 2 days ago, it was my birthday. I've been on this earth for 30 years now. 3 decades. And I was just thinking, you know what? I've been on earth for this time, and I've been going on. I might be older than a lot of people that see my stuff. And I might still even be younger than some people. I'm at an age where I'm in between. So I figured, you know what? How about I just talk about my life experience and give some advice on things that I would tell some of my younger editions of myself, and kind of explain a few things that I have learned. They said just make it chill, just make it relaxed. So I've had my green, and I'm ready to talk. So this is just going to be a nice little sit back, and I'm going to tell stories and tell everything. Just a little bit about more of what I went through, some advice that I got for my 3 decades being on this planet. So, I don't know where to start. I guess I'll just start here. One major lesson I have learned is, and I teach on here, is control. We want control. We like having control of things, and we want things to be in order because that's how things we're taught to us. Everything needs to be in order. But the world is not like that. It is very chaotic, and my number one advice is to be open-minded to not doing exactly what you thought you were going to be doing. A prime example is for me. You look back before I graduated in 2009. I did all the shop classes in high school, right? I worked in every single shop class. My favorite was metalworks, we had the metal lathes, working with metal, cutting them, milling machines, and we also did some. I was also using a torch and did practice welding there, and we did some forging. It was a fun class. Like, it was real fun. Like, I loved that class. Anyways, I decided I was thinking about my career. I was like, okay, what do I want to do? I like working with metal. So I was like, well, how about I go in welding, right? Welding, and then I could do this thing where I could take, instead of doing grade 12, I could do my welding. So I made my grade 11 a little harder by doing all my classes for grade 11. Like, I think my elective class, like, I had one elective, and I think that elective was like history 12. It was like, it was an elective. It was funny. I don't think I had a legitimate, what was it? Elective course in my grade 11 year, because I was wanted to do this. I think my only one was auto mechanics. I think that was like the only one I had all year, because I remember afterwards the teacher wanted me to be the TA for the TA next year, would be his helper, right, for class. But unfortunately, I had already planned and committed to be going to university for my welding. So grade 12 rolls around. Everyone's heading down to the school for their graduation year. Me, I'm heading up to the university in my hometown of Kamloops, and I'm going to do welding up there. And it's fun. I really enjoyed the course, and I was really learning lots and doing different welds every single day. I say it was a really good experience for me, and it's real fun, and I enjoyed it. I really did. I was like, okay, this could be awesome. Like, I think I could do this. I think me being a fresh 17, 18-year-old guy with his first year's welding is like, okay, well, this might be great because someone may want someone who's this young and take him under his wing and, teach him his ways of welding, because I know everyone has their own ways. And if you teach someone like at a young age, they can learn for so much more. That was my thought rationale, right? Thinking, okay, I'm pretty young and I already had my first year, so it's like I have the ability to do it. Now, the only abilities I didn't have was I didn't have my driver's license at the time, and I was just coming out of high school, so I didn't really know too much. Right? I only knew the first year welding, so I had to go by the first year welding jobs. So for me, it was pretty tough. Like, I was trying to find work. I found a job, and the thing is, I had to take the bus out to it, and the bus didn't quite go as far as it, because it was like a what would you call that? Suburbs, almost kind of like the suburbs of a city, and the bus does kind of go out the way, but only goes to a certain point. Then I would have like 30 minutes of walking to get to the actual place, and I accounted for all that, and I made it in on time, and it was a tight one, but yeah, I went up there, and he had a completely different welding setup than I was used to, and he was pushing me like, "Oh yeah, you should be doing this. You should have had this done by now. You should have had this." He gave me a job, and he didn't really give me much training on it, and it's with a machine that makes it hard to weld. Because when we were welding, we're usually using like stick welders, or we're using acetylene gas. We're using acetylene, and that makes everything go faster. Well, this guy was trying to make me use a torch. Oh yeah, oxyacetylene torch. This guy usually uses oxyacetylene, but this guy was trying to make me use propane, and he wanted me to have everything cut so nicely. Well, I don't know if you guys know this about acetylene and propane, but propane is not as powerful or hot as acetylene. So it was like, I think that's what it's called, acetylene. Yeah. Anyways, it doesn't burn as hot, and so what happens is, I'm trying to cut this thing, but it takes longer to cut up because you have to. There's a sweet spot. If you move just at the right spot, you can hold the air and it melts the metal. Like, the science of it's really cool, because if you think about it, what it's doing is it's setting the molten metal on fire with the heat, and you strike the heat with a torch. But then you squeeze the trigger and it's shooting air to shoot that molten shards to cut through the piece of metal. Yeah, I don't know if anyone knew that with torches, but that's exactly what it's doing. It's making it hot, and it's just shooting it straight through. So that's kind of what's going on there. So Anyways, so I was trying to do that, but it was taking forever. I didn't have the right rhythm. It was so slow, and this guy was impatient with me, and I was kind of impatient because I didn't know some of the things, how to do things. And anyways, it just didn't work out. He didn't really want to teach me too much, and he said, "Yeah, no, you're not. You don't need to come back. We don't need you here." I was like, "Oh, okay, well, that's fine, I guess." I was like, I thought that's what, um, I thought maybe someone wanted to actually help me, but that's when I realized, people don't want to have someone my age. People don't like people my age. They're expecting people with more experience, and that was the first dose of reality when I was like, okay, I have no clue what's going on. I have no clue how life works. I'm going to step it back instead of trying to go into welding. I just need to work. Because I just realized I didn't really work throughout my high school years. I tried and tried and tried, and no one would hire me. So I was like, okay, I just got to work. Ended up leaving my home and moving out, actually out this direction where I am right now. And I worked out here, and I got my first job at a restaurant. And this restaurant it's a big chain thing, but I was a line cook. I was operating the deep fryer and everything. I'm not trying to go into my whole life story on this, but I'm just kind of explaining. Like that was my first job. Nothing to do with welding, right? Has nothing to do with welding, and I kind of just abandoned welding throughout the time. I did use welding once at one of my jobs, and that was cool for a little bit, but it's like I had forgotten so much about it, and so it was just bad. It's unfortunate that I forgot all of that, but I just never looked at myself as doing welding after that guy, and I tried to get experience, but no one would take me in. So, anyway, I'm just all over the place now. Okay, like I've worked so many different jobs. I've never sniffed a welding job or anything like that. I don't work with metal. I didn't do that. Like I've done so many jobs, and if I went through all of them, it'd be like it's crazy how many jobs I don't know if I've ever gone through all the jobs I've had. But it's absolutely crazy. I'm just gonna list off a quick couple. Like this is a random. So I was a line cook. I worked at a dog food factory. I worked at an oil factory, like a lubricant and grease factory for machines. So just so everyone knows, it's not people, it's machinery. So, and then I worked at some warehouses. Let's see. I worked at an airport. And then at the airport, that's when I really discovered what I truly wanted to do is drive. So, and at that point in time, I decided I wanted to get my Class 1. Was given an opportunity to learn how to do my Class 1 through an oil field company. But this was around 2014. 2014, 2015. So the oil crash happened, and honestly, me not having experience kind of put me at a disadvantage. And unfortunately, I got laid off there, but I was still determined to get my Class 1 because I wanted to drive trucks. So, anyways, I decided to go on and get my Class 1, but I needed to get EI, and the problem is I needed to get on EI, but I was about to move somewhere, and I need money right away, so I still looked for work. I didn't want to go on EI right away because I knew I wanted to have EI afterwards. Well, it turned out that I moved back home, got a job as a public works worker. I was mowing lawns, changing garbage. I was a glorified janitor, really. Is what I was doing just for the summer. That was a fun job. I enjoyed that job. So I did that. Then I moved back, and I was driving. I just finished driving until last year, where I stopped working because of my health for a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to be going back to work, but for now, I am just for my health. I'm trying to figure out what it is. So the thing is you're expecting to know everything. Like if you don't even know what career you want, that's perfectly fine. I'm just letting you know that the biggest advice is you have to do what you gotta do. Sometimes you have to take chances, and like for me, the biggest chance I took on was going for that oil field job because at the time I was thinking, I'm too small. I can't do this. I can't work in an oil field. Like, what? I can't do that. I did it, and it turned out to be great, and I enjoyed it. It was fun, and I would have stayed in if it wasn't for the crash. So, yeah. So that piece of advice, that whole story is just to kind of tell you, whatever you expect in high school or whatever you're expecting, just know that your life is going to change so many times. Don't expect things to be routine. You need to be able to have a free mind in order to assess when things are changing and be able to handle it. Like, I think if I haven't had this little spiritual awakening and what I'm going through now was happening before I started trying to fix my mind and all that, I'm pretty sure I would have had a mental breakdown. I'm pretty sure I would have. But luckily I've kind of worked on myself and made it so then I could start handling a little bit of these more stressful situations, and I can start predicting them a little bit more. So I'm doing a little bit better on that. But yeah, so the first piece of advice I'm saying is just don't expect life to go the same as you expect it all the time. It's always going to be lots of things since the world is chaotic. It's an extremely chaotic place. So yeah, so that's the first piece of advice I give. This one's a hard one. This is a real hard one, but this might be a harsh lesson in reality for people, but sometimes it's a good thing to lose people in your circle. It's a hard one, but yeah, you gotta really assess the situation, but sometimes if you are with someone and you're hanging out with someone, let's say a friend, and they're just always controlling, they always want to do this, they always want to control everything that you're doing, and yeah, if they're just controlling and demanding and everything like that, that's not really fair, because that's not really what friends are supposed to do. They're supposed to work together, have fun, hang out and talk with each other, not try to control another person. Yeah, I've seen that happen, and that's why I bring that up. But the one thing is you need to not be afraid to lose people, including family, that may be putting you down or doesn't help you with energy. You can't be afraid to avoid people. I have family members that I don't really talk to anymore. It sucks, obviously, but sometimes that energy that you're putting towards avoiding someone or hating someone or being angry at someone is just an anchor. It becomes an anchor and it just pulls you back. I call these anchors because they hold you back from where you need to go. So I really feel like that's one of the major things people need to really watch out for, is that know that some of the people you meet, even like in high school, your friends, like my best friends, like I still talk to my friends every once in a while. Like, obviously, it doesn't help that I kept moving around. And I keep in touch with my friends and everything, but, some people from my school, sometimes you just don't talk to them. It's just kind of the way life is. Not much you can do about it. It's a tough one. Like, I know people drift away, they get to their own lives. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You just gotta be prepared for new things happening and be prepared that things aren't going to be the same as it is. And you gotta embrace change when things are different. You gotta embrace when things are happening, because sometimes if you don't, it could catch up to you. Like for me, my health, if I had kept going to work, I probably would have hurt myself even worse. With my condition. And if I hadn't stopped working, I probably would have really hurt myself because of how weak I'm getting with how weak I was getting. So it's just, those are all just things that I think, just be prepared that things aren't always going to be the same. You might have people leave you in your life. Sometimes cutting people off is a good thing. So that's probably a little bit of advice too with relationships, because I do feel like, and something I haven't really gone into too much, is relationship dynamics. I believe there's a purpose for every purpose you meet, every event that's happened to you. Everything has a purpose, and it's to test you. People are to test you, or people are to kind of push you in the right direction. I feel we are all kind of being controlled a little bit in that way, somewhat. Like free will, I believe the free will is a good topic to talk about, because honestly, free will, I don't know, I think free will is what will I feel like we have free will, but I do feel like sometimes our thoughts might be influenced somehow. Like, how do we come up with some of these thoughts? Where these thoughts come from? And what I've been noticing is, if you try to control those thoughts, they sometimes have major energy that helps with things. So if things are stressful around your house, you put your energy towards de-stressing and removing that stress. It sometimes does actually help. That's called manifesting. Just thinking about these things and trying to control what you're thinking has to be there. Now, how do you have a free thought if, like, can you have free thoughts? Is your thoughts your thoughts? Of course, it's coming from your brain. I feel like your brain is the connection to the divine, and I feel like our brains are so powerful that we're all part of this little network that's just going around and connecting thoughts to the divine. The divine obviously will put messages, obviously will put things in our life, obviously will put things in place because of a grand purpose. We need to be tested, and we need to do that. Now, that's not coming from a god or anything like that. It's coming from the divine. I feel like the energies are doing that. That's all we need to do for our spirit. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Anyways. So, let's see. What else should we talk about? I'll just use this little brief moment to talk about my positivity streams and everything like that. So, if you guys don't know, I have cut back on my streamings, but if you want to join the stream, that I do, it is called a positivity stream. And it happens Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And what happens is we have free talk, so we have open discussion. You can call me on my Discord call. We can have a voice chat. You can just type it out. We talk about any issues that you're having. If you need some positivity, you need some positive energy, it's a place for us to come in and get some positive energy some way, some form. We watch funny videos. We watch inspiring videos. You get to send some videos in that you think will be positive. I will pick them out eventually, but you can send your requests for certain videos in YouTube links. I will play some of them. We'll see, like, we can play games. We can, we could do games or something like that. Something along that. I think that's something that would be kind of fun to do with the positivity streams. I also, last week, if you've seen on TikTok, I did my first karaoke song. I did Higher by Creed. So please check it out on my TikTok. Once I get on my Twitch account, once I get to 125 followers, which is at 115 as of May 12th, once I get to 125 followers, I will be doing a full karaoke stream, and I'll even try to do some requests. I'll be honest, I'll try to do some songs, but I'm more of a rock guy, so I don't know too many rap or something like that, but I could try. I'll try doing some songs that you send. If I feel like I can, I'll try my best. So, we'll just get a karaoke one, and you can just send in a whole bunch of them. So, anyway, so that's kind of my idea for karaoke songs. Maybe I might make a playlist, and you guys can add the song onto the playlist, and I'll let it play or something like that. Like, from the playlist, you can enter some songs. So, or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. I gotta go through them all and see. That's actually what I should do. I should go through all the songs and get a video for each one that I think I could do. Make it into a big playlist. And that's what I do for the karaoke stream. And then we'll see how it goes. Alright. So anyways, that's all that happens on my positivity streams. I also want to try and meditate. Try to maybe show little stretches or exercises that I know, and then we watch some funny videos and we can pray and meditate. So it's a positivity stream on Twitch. every Saturday at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That is 8 Pacific, and would that be 11 Eastern? I believe it's 11 Eastern. So, anyways, back to some life advice from a 30-year-old man. Do. I need some classical music. I need to edit something in here. I should get some classical music and edit in there. Back in my day, I wonder, am I that old yet that I can start talking like that? Back in my day, we had to go up to the TV and turn the dial. Actually, I was old enough to have to do that. I did have to do that, and we're hitting the side of the TV, actually fix the TV. I was kind of born in a crazy middle era, because I was coming to the end of like the kind of the whole set, everything after post World War II, like the boomers and the 70s and the 80s, all that. That's kind of like its own little era type thing, and I'm kind of in the more era, the more modern, like more modern, like the electronic age, and it was the shift into it. So I was still around with VCRs and cassettes when those were the only things you could use. And then CDs came in, PlayStations and games evolving like that. I've seen that's the crazy thing about being this age, is you've seen a lot. And you were in the 1990s. Like, for me, I was born in the 1900s. That's crazy. People say, you're so ancient, you're born in the 1900s. It's not even the 19s anymore. It's the 2000s. Get with the program, old man. But it's, but yeah, no, it's kind of crazy to think of the cross generations that I have encountered, or what I have encountered. So yeah, I don't know. That's just something I figured I'd talk about a little bit. Just yeah, let go of anchors is probably a big one. One thing I will say, and I'm thinking back to my past self when I was younger, I'd say you need to try to take more chances, more dares, more, and really think through things a little bit more before you make rash decisions. Obviously, I love my life now. I'm married. I have my kids, my niece I've taken care of, my son. I wouldn't change anything for that in the world. There's some events that, yeah, obviously I wouldn't want it to happen again, but it's everything happens to you for a reason. You choose what you take from each event, each thing, and you make it your own thing. You gotta choose how you react to it. You gotta choose how you want to be with that. Personally, I like to think of every task as a test, and how you treat it is what's going to happen for a while. So each of these tests are important, and you just got to keep working at it, and hopefully it works, right? So yeah, so all I'm pretty much saying is that we just need to be more cautious. When I'm talking to my past self, I'm just thinking that I need to not be so stubborn and try to stay stuck in my ways. I gotta be a little looser and let things happen. Because that's one thing. That's another piece of advice I can give you guys. Let things happen. Don't, some situations, not going in with any expectations is probably the best thing in the world. That's actually kind of how my wife and I met. We weren't originally meeting to date. We were just more meeting as friends. We first met, but then we just started enjoying each other's company so much, and it just blossomed. But the thing is, we both weren't going in there like, oh, we're looking for someone to date. We're looking for someone to get into a long-time relationship with. We were just like, okay, we just want some friends. And I think that was it was interesting because, yeah, I'm just coming in from... All I'm coming in from is from a past relationships or longer relationships, and I'm so used to being in that relationship dynamic that I wanted to be in a relationship so badly after my first one that I had the second one, rushed it, and really it was so rushed that I get why it fell apart. So then that's why coming into the expectations of this one, I didn't have any, and it's my last relationship, and it's the one with my wife. And I didn't go in thinking, oh yeah, I'm dating someone. I wasn't trying to go in for a dating or anything like that. It just happened. It worked out. So we were just looking for friends, and then it just worked out perfectly. That's how we met. So if you ever wonder how my wife and I met, that's kind of how we met, a little bit. I don't want to get into too much more details, but yeah. See, is there anything else I can really give advice? Yeah, every person you meet, every event that happens to you, you need to choose what you need to take from each one. And I feel like a good chunk of it you need to try to deal with at the time. You can choose how you react to things. You choose how you want to be. And sometimes you don't feel like you could choose. Because sometimes you let yourself down, your guard down, and you just end up doing whatever you were doing before. So I really think that everything, in the grand scheme of everything, we get to choose our lives if we really put our minds to it. Try give positive energy. And if things are hard, like if you're down and things are challenging, like life keeps throwing things at you, lots of these events, which I've been calling, are happening. And it's ramping up right now. Lots of these events are happening as we go along. Things that add stress, that challenge you, to make you think. These things are happening, and they're happening for a reason. It's to set us up for the path we need to take in this grand journey of our spiritual beings. In my personal belief, I believe we spiritual beings are being pushed to the sides we need to be at for something massive to happen. I don't know what. This is just my gut feeling is something massive is going to happen, and it's going to unify the earth. Something... I don't know what exactly, but I feel like something unifying will happen to the earth, and we will all come closer to each other and stop with this discourse, and stop with the hate and anger. I do feel we need to be spiritually more set and ready for when that happens, this big event to happen, because we need to be unified. We shouldn't be hating anyone or trying to bring hate to anyone for any reason, like for race, sexuality. I feel we shouldn't be bringing on negativity for that. Your cause can be shown without showing negativity. You don't need to vandalize things to get your point across. So marches, the protests are great. It shows that you're using your freedom of speech to protest things. But once you get to destroying things, that's kind of where you're like, okay, well, is this a real positive movement or is this a negative movement? I don't know. That's just kind of something I've noticed things. But I feel like we're right now, every event happening is pushing us and pulling us to certain directions so as we could go somewhere. So, we'll have to see where we end up going, but it's a journey, and I feel we are all in this journey together. So, and I feel like we are just learning what we need to do as we go along, which is true. We are. So, the wind is picking up out here, guys. So, anyways, I feel like that is all I'm going to talk about today, guys. If you like the podcast, follow on all the sites I have on Google, Spreaker, Spotify, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Deezer, iHeartRadio. Go check out all those places to find Six Letter Earth. If you don't know where it all is, if you want to see it all, just go to my link tree. Links are in the bio. It's in the description of the podcast. And that's a link to everything I do. My Twitch account, my Discord server, my Twitter, my YouTube. Everything is there. So just go there and check everything out. So, and remember, guys, remember, here at Six Letter Earth, we support the F word. Now, I know we all said this before, and I know you guys know this, but what is the F word? It's freedom! It's freedom! It's freedom! It's freedom, guys. Freedom is the F word, and the sixth letter is F. The F word is freedom. And here, we want freedom to the world. We want everyone to have freedom in the world. We want you to be free. We want you to be able to do what you want to do. But most importantly, we want freedom to your mind. You think clearly. You do clearly. You can sort things out. You're not dependent on hearing news to choose how you react to things. Because ultimately, that is the ultimate freedom. Anyways, that's it for this week's episode. Check out my positivity streams, and I'll see you guys back next week. I promise I'll try to get a more written episode, more scripted episode, for next week's episode. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, have yourselves a good one, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. This is like a Marvel post-credit scene. I don't know what to say here, but if you are listening to this, say your post-credit scene was crazy. Anyways, see you guys.